chief guest. So please, bear with me, the governors, be as short as possible, brief as possible. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Prime Minister. The guests, all protocols observed. I think I'll probably talk half of the time that Murithi has talked. I'm not so sure what else you can say after what Murithi has elucidated. But let me start by recognizing my Deputy Governor who is here, Joyce, and I know there are other Deputy Governors. Maybe you can start so that I'm not discriminated, that I only stood my Deputy Governor. There we have three Deputy Governors there. Thank you very much, and God bless. Mine is going to be very short, and I'll start it this way. I'm very happy to have been part of the team that did the triumphant entry into Nairobi. It's ironical because we thought we would do triumphant entry into Mount Kenya, but we started with Mount Kenya and we ended up doing a triumphant entry with Baba in Nairobi. And if there was anybody who could doubt that Jesus made triumphant entry in Nazareth, then see what happened yesterday. So I'm really happy and pleased that we made that triumphant entry. Secondly, I would want to say that a lot has been said, but I would want to use the computer language just to make it simple. What His Excellency the President has done, which was a follow-up of the implementation of Vision 2030, which I happen to have been involved in its formulation, it's largely to create the hardware. And we have had this discussion. This country now is at a point, you cannot have adequate hardware, but we are at a point where we are having sufficient hardware. What we are looking for is the software. And the software is a stimulus package that gets the young people into doing the jobs. The software is that which makes the farmer in Gatundu North, a place called Kamwangi, produce milk, and within 10 minutes, that milk is processed and sold in Thika because the road is good. It is the software. And Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Raila Odinga, yours will largely be software. Because that's what this country needs in order to start an economic transformation. And we can talk more about that. What we also would want to say is that the biggest gift that you and your colleagues did or gave to this country was the Constitution 2010. And with it came devolution. And we can see every corner of this country has changed because of that second liberation, the Constitution. What we are asking for is defending devolution. We would want devolution defended, and if not just defending devolution, but making sure that you have more confidence in devolution. Get more money to the counties. Let counties have the problem of accountability, but get more money to the counties. Let the national government work closely with the county governments, because that's the way that person, doesn't matter whether it's Mount Kenya or wherever else, they will be able to feed the government. I'll just talk about one issue, which again, as you can see, I just talked about the hardware and talked about the software and how easily we can fit into the software. But I would also want to say, Your Excellency, that we need to rethink, and I know there has been a bit of discussions about the economic models. But instead of going to economic models, we agreed yesterday that we are going to go direct to Anjiko and do things, projects. But I also want to challenge economists in this country because they are there. When misconceptions are being made about economic development, where are you? Those of us who have read books like Michael Tondaro and Lipsey and the others, we all know the difference between different economic models. I want to simplify our development economic model by saying we need to slice the growth of our GDP. What is the contributor of our GDP? When we say our GDP is growing by 5 or 6%, what is contributing to the 5 or 6%? For as long as agriculture and manufacturing are not contributing to that GDP, there is not going to be jobs. There is not going to be sufficient food. There is not going to be cheap food that enables our manufacturing sector to become competitive. Yes, service industry is good. Finances are good. Yes, the banking is good, and it will contribute to our 5%. But as long as manufacturing and agriculture are not doing well, we still have these people going unemployed and having the kind of problems we are having. Your Excellency, the thing is, we have to unpack our GDP. And we are not alone. It is an African-wide problem. We have to unpack our GDP. Pump more money into agriculture. Pump more money into manufacturing. Make sure that we have inherent natural competitiveness. Those are things that we have not talked about. And I would want the economists of this country to come up. We talk about these things. I don't know why we have only 2 or 3 economists talking and the rest are quiet. I think we also have to think very seriously about whether we are going to lead an export or an import-led economy. Sorry to say, Your Excellency, today this country is spending 30% imported, wheat 80% imported, rice 75% imported, sugar 60%. What are we talking about? We are exporting wealth and importing poverty. Let's look at our agricultural sector. We've lost the competitive advantage of our tea, coffee, and other exports. We have to lead an export-led economy, one that makes sure that we conserve our money within here. So, Baba, we are ready. The Triumphant entry yesterday, followed by today, we want a bigger thing tomorrow. This train has left the station. God bless you.
Asante sana, Governor Kiambu.